this lecture, we are going to cover auxiliary views. Auxiliary views are helping views. They help us to visualize inclined surfaces in certain parts in their correct shape and dimensions. For example, I have this eye-shaped inclined surface here. If I look to this surface, at this surface, from the front view, I would see distorted dimensions of this eye shape. It's gonna look shorter than what it actually is. If I look at the right side, at this eye shape inclined surface, of course it's gonna look as a straight line, as an inclined line, which is gonna look like this, something like this. Okay, so this line here is gonna be projected to the front, and these two lines here and here, they remain the same. Okay, however, if I look from the top view, okay, so I'm not going to see a distortion from the right side. However, if I look from the top view, this eye shape is going to look also shorter than what it is from the top, because inclined lines, okay, or lines at an angle that are projected become shorter than what they really are. Now, the auxiliary view comes to help us to see that inclined surface here in its real shape and its real dimensions. And therefore, we do not look neither from the front, nor from the side, nor from the top. We look from a view that's perpendicular to this inclined surface. Okay, so we look from an angle, that's perpendicular to this surface, therefore seeing that surface in its true shape and in its true dimensions. So here I have drawn the three-dimensional model of this shape so that you can see exactly what it looks like. Okay, so that's it. Now for the dimensions, we are not given numerical values in this problem. However, we are given divisions. You see these small squares? Okay, so we can count them to know the dimension and position of features on this three-dimensional model. So I'm going to draw for this model, for this part here, I'm going to draw the front, I'm going to draw the right side, I'm going to draw the top side, and then at the end, I'm going to draw the auxiliary view, which represents this eye-shaped inclined surface here in its true shape and its true dimensions, and it means we're looking from this angle towards this surface. So let me start with the normal front, looking from this side. So coming to SolidWorks here, let me just move it a bit. Okay. So I'm going to start a new drawing, two-dimensional drawing, meaning first of all, as always, I'm going to choose the paper size. For this exercise, let's say I'm going to pick A3 and landscape in the landscape mode. Okay, and I'm going to say okay. Now SolidWorks by default starts with inch, pound, and second. I'm going to change it to what we are used to here in our country, which is millimeters and grams and seconds. So that's my A3 paper. I'm drawing in millimeters, and let's start. So looking at this part from the front view, first of all, what would I see? I would see this rectangular shape here. And the dimensions of that rectangular shape are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units in width and 2 units by height. So coming to SolidWorks, here we are in the annotation ribbon. I have to go to the sketch ribbon, which is this one. So if I press on it, okay, now I go to corner rectangle. So now where do I want to start? So here, first of all, I imagine I have the front view here, the top view here, the right side view here, and then the auxiliary, which is going to be placed here. So kind of this point here will represent the lowest and most left point on my drawing. However, you need to take into account that maybe you're going to need to place dimensions. That's why I do not start this point so close here, okay, but rather I move a bit to give room for the dimensions. So I'm going to start actually at this point. So I'm going to click here for the corner point of the rectangle. By height it's 2 units, and by width is going to be 10. So 2 tab 10. Okay. Actually, if you look, this rectangle is so small on this paper. This paper turned out to be very big. Okay. So let's change the paper actually. Actually, let me start a new. So I'm going to come here, new drawing. And let's choose a smaller size of paper, which is the A4 paper. But keep it in landscape. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to pick again a rectangle. And as we said, I'm going to start from here. 2 units in height, tab, 10 units in... Oh, why is it so big? Because it's still an inch. So I'm going to change it to millimeters here. So as you can see, it has been automatically changed to 254, for example. So I'm going to say 10 millimeters and 2 millimeters. Finally, this is our rectangle. Okay, for now we'll zoom in. So as you can see here, let's move these dimensions a bit. Okay. Okay, so 10 by 2. Now, looking at this inclined shape now is what we see next, okay? And it's going to look projected to the front plane, meaning this inclined line here is going to be projected to this line here, okay? It's going to be something like this, which is shorter than the original length. So the eye shape is going to look shorter from here till here. Okay, it's going to look like it's been compressed. Okay, okay. Now, how do we draw that? Let me show you. First of all, instead of directly drawing the inclined surface, let us draw actually this here, this shape, because this shape is not distorted here. Okay, by drawing this shape, I would be able to locate where this eye shape will be. So this face here, I'm going to draw it starting from this point here. So this point here, looking from the front, will appear at a distance of, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units from the bottom. So from here till here, I have 7 units of height, which are like this. Okay, and you'd reach that point. So this line here would be 7 units. So let me draw here a line L. I pressed on L to access the line command. That's vertical and it has 7 units. Okay, let me delete this dimension for now, because most probably maybe I'm gonna need to delete this line. I'm not gonna delete it actually, but for now I wanted to reach this point here, which is this here. Okay, so from here I'm gonna go with another line, say that's like this, which is 10. Okay, obviously it's 10 units. Okay, then so I've reached this point here, then I go up 3 units, so vertically up 3 to reach this point here. Then I'd go 3 units horizontally but in this direction, so 3. Okay, and now I've reached this point here. Let me, by the way, just move these dimensions. Okay, here if you notice that the text of the dimension is so big, Of course, we can change that by clicking on the dimension here and going to its properties, which are here, other. Okay, you can see here that it says use the document font. If you click on this to deselect it and you go to font, and you can change the size here. Okay, and you can do this for all of the dimensions. Let me show you how. If I click on one dimension, press on Control and A, Control A on the keyboard. This will select all the dimensions. But first I clicked on one dimension. Remember that. So if I press Escape, just to do it again so that you can see it. I clicked on one dimension. I pressed on Control A. I select by this all the dimensions that I have. I go here to the properties, other. I don't want to use the document font, which, by the way, we can change the document font, and I'll show you how to do that in class. But for now, let's deselect this. Let's press on font and make it smaller. So it's here we can either change it by millimeter value. So here currently it's 3.175 millimeters, or you can change it by points, the way that you do in, let's say, Microsoft Word. Okay, so let's say here I'm gonna make it, let's say, twice as small, almost twice. Let's say 1.5, roughly 1.5 millimeters. So here you go. Okay, now for the arrows and the other lines, of course we can change all of that. We will see that in class, how to do it in details in class. However, just should you like to do it quickly now, you can use here when you go to leaders. Okay, so I've selected them all. Then I go to leaders. Here you can change the size of the arrows. Okay. How also we can do it automatically as a document property, which we're gonna see later on in class. For now, I'm gonna keep them as they are. I'm not gonna waste any time on them, because today I want to explain to you auxiliary views. Another thing that I can do, which is probably what I'm going to do right now, just to move the, just to make them disappear from my display, would be I'm going to put them in a layer that's non-visible. So I'm going to right click anywhere on my sheet. I'm going to go to change layer, and I'm going to go to layer properties here. I'm going to create a new layer. Okay. Remember, we did these before. So let me for now create all the layers. So visible entities and a new layer, hidden entities, a new layer, and let's say annotations or dimensions. Let's say dimensions. The one thing that you're going to need when you draw auxiliary views, which is what we're going to do today, is construction entities. And I'm going to explain why when I draw them, these construction entities. Okay. Now, for the visible entities, for the color, let's go with this color, which SolidWorks uses by default. For the style of the line, it has to be continuous, of course. The thickness of the line, as I told you before, it must be something like, let's say, 0.5 or 0.7 millimeters. Let's say 0.5 for today, or 0.7. Hidden entities, they're gonna also have the same line thickness. However, the line type must be dashed. The dimensions, we keep them hairline, and we keep them continuous, the line style. For hidden entities, you can change the color, or you can keep it the same color as the visible entities. Construction lines, here you might decide to change the color, let's say, but they are the thickness must be hairline, meaning very close to 0 but not 0, and the style would be phantom line type. We're going to use this one to create the lines that show you the borders of the auxiliary view. We're going to do it in a moment. In any case, here we would need also one layer that's called center lines. So pretty much all of your drawings in this course should have these layers. Center lines, also you may choose to make another color or assign another color for them. The style must be center line type, which is this one, big dash, small dash. The thickness must also stay as a hairline, which is the smallest thickness possible. Okay, and let's say, okay, now for the dimensions, I'm going to make it an invisible layer by clicking on this eye shape here. And for here, I'm going to click on one of the dimensions. I'm going to click on the keyboard. I'm going to click Control and A to select all the dimensions. Now I'm going to change the layers of these. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say change layers. From here, I'm going to place them in the dimensions layer. And as you can see, they have disappeared, but it doesn't mean that they are erased. We just cannot see them. Okay, so we are at this point now. So we have to go down by 1 unit. So L, 1 unit. In engineering drawings, we do not erase dimensions, okay? We can choose to hide them, but we do not erase them. So here 1, 2, 3, and 4 units horizontally. So that would be this 4 units. Then we go up again, vertically up by 1 unit, and then we close it by going horizontally 3 units. And then we close the shape by going to that. Okay, I cannot see it. I cannot see it clearly. Fine. I'm going to press escape. I'm going to place all of these dimensions, Control A, right click, change layer, put them in the layer dimensions. Okay. Now these lines are green and they have center line line type. Okay, I'm going to choose them here. Control on the keyboard, right click, or instead of right click, we can go to properties here of these lines and place them in visible entities actually. Okay, so here we can see a clear difference between the thickness of the line, and this is because these lines that we've drawn at the beginning, we didn't assign any layer to them. So here the layer of them is none. I'm going to put them in visible entities. So here it is. Now, if you feel that the 0.7 millimeters is too much, of course, you can always change that. Let's say to 0.5 millimeters. Let me do that. Actually, I think it's too much. 0.5. Okay. And that's it. Okay. Now, let's continue our drawing. So a line from here till here. Okay. And so this is this shape. So we'll just need to this center at this one, we put it in visible entities. Okay, now of course this shape is not empty from here, and it has a line here from here till here. So this line that I have drawn represents what? It represents this line. Okay, looking at it from the front, or let's say here. However, as you can see, there's an empty section here which I didn't draw here. Okay, so of course it's not going to be a straight line that's straight all the way from this point to this point, or let's say, let's visualize it from here. Now what I've drawn here, which is wrong, this line is wrong. This doesn't represent, look, it's gonna stay okay here as this line. However, this doesn't represent this, because when we look from the front, I'm gonna see these bends here. Okay, however, this line that I've drawn, Is it actually wrong? No, it's not wrong. Why? Because if I'm standing here, okay, and I'm looking from the front side, okay, where would this continuous line come from? It would come from seeing this and seeing this, okay? So these two projected to the front will be one continuous line, here and here, okay? And then it continues here. So once you reach this height here, okay, so let me draw a little bit more of it. So you reach this height, you would continue seeing this line and this line. And these four sections are going to appear as one continuous straight line, which is what I've drawn here. You're not going to see the bends here. I didn't draw these bends yet. I'm going to draw them. Okay. However, that's what we see because of this thing, as I've drawn it here. And from the other side, it's going to be exactly the same. So I'm going to draw another line from here till here. Okay. Click on the line. I'm going to put it in visible entities. Okay. So I've drawn till now. What have I drawn? The things marked in red here. From the other side, that would be the same thing. And also I've drawn this surface and this face here. Now, how would we draw these bends? I mean, this, and this, looking at them from the front view. How would they appear? Okay, so first of all, you have to know that this line here is not distorted or projected to the front. It is parallel to the front plane. Okay, and this line here. So these, they keep their correct size. So this line is going to appear 2 units in width from the front, the same as this line here. Whereas this line here is going to look projected. Okay, so you need to project it to the front. And it's not going to look, okay, it's not going to appear in its correct size. Okay, now here actually, okay, we cannot know what size this at this stage. I do not know how much the projection of this line would be on the front. Okay, the projection of this inclined line, how much would it be in the front? I have no idea at this stage. It's gonna look, by the way, something like this. Okay, yeah, but I don't know its size at this point in time. Okay, now when I draw the right side view, so because from the right side view I can see exactly where this line starts here and it finishes here, and then I would project it from the right side view to the front side view. So for now I'm gonna omit drawing these bands here, okay, till I finish drawing the right side view, and then I would draw them. So for now, please omit this shape here. Assume for now that this is one continuous surface like this, and it doesn't have any bends here. Okay. That being said, if I omit this thing, okay, for now, what do I still need to draw in this view? Is there anything that's hidden in this view? The visible lines we're done with them. Of course, we still have these bends, but as I said, I'm gonna leave them for now. I still have the hidden features in this view, which are what? So first of all, let me draw the first hidden feature, which is what? Let me show it to you on the 3-dimensional model. So here, so I'm looking from this side, yeah, like this. Now, what do I have hidden here? What are the edges that exist but they are obscured by material and they are invisible to my eyes. Let me rotate it a bit to see. I have this edge here, and similarly the other edge, which is here. So these two edges, okay, they are there, but I cannot see them from the front because they are obscured by material. So meaning here at this point here and at this point here, there are these two edges here, which I can see them perfectly from the back. However, from the front, they are hidden from my view. Okay, so what's of course, there are two vertical lines that extend all the way from the top to the bottom of the part. However, I just need to determine the distance from here to here, which is 1.5. As you can see here, 1.5. So let me draw that. These two lines, I mean. These are drawn in the hidden entities layer. Okay, so I'm gonna go with line. I'm gonna attach it to this line and make it perpendicular or horizontal. Sorry, vertical. Escape. It's in center line. Let me click on it and put it here in hidden entities. Okay, and it's automatically dashed as you have seen. Now we need to specify the distance here. I'm gonna go to Smart Dimension. Click on this line, click on the other line, and put the value of 1.5. Okay, that's it. Let me put this dimension in the layer dimensions. I go to other here and to dimensions. It's going to become invisible, of course. Now, same thing from the other side. I'm going to draw a line that's like this. I'm going to click on the line, put it in the layer hidden entities. I'm going to smart dimension from this line to this line and make it a 1.5 distance. For this dimension, let's put it in the layer dimensions. Okay, so here it is. Now, what other hidden entities do I have? Of course, looking at this part from the front side view, which is like this, you have these, the holes here, this hole and the other hole, which is here. These are obscured, you cannot see them when you are looking from the front. And how do they appear? They appear as two rectangles. So here, if we look here, they would look something like this, as a rectangle that has this height and it has this width and goes up like that. So it's a hidden rectangle in this position. The height of the rectangle is the diameter, and the width of the rectangle would be the distance like this from the circle to the circle. Okay, let me draw that. So here, and positioned where, by the way, where is the position of this rectangle? Here it is from the center here, from the center to the upper edge here. You have 1, 2, 3 squares. So let me draw here a rectangle. Let's say that's height equals to the diameter, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 units. 4. And the width would be here 1.5. I can see it from here. 1.5. So 1.5 in width. Okay. This and this. Place them in dimensions. Okay. This is the rectangle that I've drawn. It's barely visible. So I'm going to select it and place it in the layer hidden entities. Okay. So this is the rectangle that I'm speaking about, which represents this cylindrical hole. Now the position at which this rectangle has to be put in here would be, as I said, 1, 2, 3 units from the top and you reach the center, which is the middle point here. Okay, so 3 units from the top. Now what I can do is I can move, so I'm going to come here, move entities, this rectangle, I want to move it from 2, so I'm going to start with the middle point here. Okay, and I'm going to place it anywhere along this line here. I just want to make it stick to this line. Now all I need to do is to place a dimension. So I'm going to dimension from, say, this point, control on the keyboard, to the middle point, if I can catch it, of the rectangle, but I cannot. So fine, so till this line, which is the same thing. Do I know that distance? Actually, I do not. Or yeah, I do. It's 1.5. Yeah, so till here it's 1.5. 1.5, because the diameter is, as we said, the diameter is 4 units. 4 units, so the radius is 2 units. No, 1 second, please. So here, what is the diameter? It's 1, 2, 3 units. Okay, sorry. The diameter is 3 units, which makes a radius of 1.5 units. And that would make this distance from this edge to the quadrant of the circle 1.5, as I've drawn here. Let me place this dimension just to, okay, just to move it away in the dimensions. Okay, so this is this hidden rectangular hole. Now I can create a mirror copy of it. Okay, so to make a mirror copy, I'm going to draw a line from the midpoint here to the midpoint here. Okay, I'm going to make this line for construction by clicking on it and clicking here for construction. It could be infinite, by the way. However, I don't want it to be infinite, so let's say okay here. And I'm going to mirror this rectangle here. I'm going to select it by doing this thing, click and hold here and move. So I've selected the rectangle, control on the keyboard and the line, and I'm going to go to mirror entities, and I'm going to get a mirror image of that thing. Okay, so basically that would be it. Okay, let me just double check here. Okay, there is one more hidden object. There is one more hidden object. Okay, let me tell you where. Okay, fine. Let me tell you where. But for now, I'm not going to draw it for now because I don't have these bands. But just to make this analysis complete, if I'm looking from the front, what would happen to this line? This line. Let's focus on this line. Looking from the front side, it starts as visible. It starts here as visible. I can see it. However, once I reach the same height as this point here, which is almost here, what I've drawn. So from here downwards, what would happen to that line here is that it's going to become invisible. And it's going to become hidden. And this is what we're going to draw. However, first I have to go to the right side view in order to get the positions of these bands from the right side view. So I'm going to draw this hidden line here, which is from here till here. However, first let me draw the right side view and draw the bands, and then I draw them. Because this hidden line is going to be attached actually to this bending shape here. Okay. So for now, I'm going to pause drawing the front view and move to the right side view. Okay, so let's do that. First of all, as we did before, the right side view must be between these two lines here. So I'm going to draw a line here and another line here. I can make them construction lines, or I can delete them later. It's better to delete them later, okay? But let me put them for now in the layer, not center lines. Let me put them in construction entities. Let's see, which I'm going to delete later on. By the way, here there are two center lines for these two cylindrical holes here. Each one has a center line, and that center line would be a line actually that we draw from the midpoint of the rectangle, which is getting here very difficult to pick. I can dimension it in all cases. I can draw it and then dimension it. So I'm going to draw something like this, okay? I can dimension this line to the correct center, but for now I'm just going to do it quickly without dimensioning. So it's going to, or I'll tell you what, let's dimension it. So from here till here, it would be 1.5. So it is now the correct dimension, and as it happens, it's overlapping this line, which is a visible line. That's why we can no longer see it. However, what we can do is that, let me say I'm going to put it 2 for now, just to be able to see the line. And then I can correct it to 1.5, which is the correct distance. However, what I wanted to tell you is that this line, let me move this a bit, okay? This line here has to be in the layer center lines, which it is. Also, it has to be scaled. It has to, it has to extend beyond this point here and beyond this point here. So let me do that by scaling it. So I'm going to select it, click on it, come to here, move entities to this arrow that's pointing downwards, and go to scale entities. Scale about, where's the point that's going to stay stationary? It's the middle point, so I click on it. 1.5 would do. You can go up to, let's say, 1.75, which is also good. And that's it. I do the same thing from the other side. And that's my center line. This one, let me put it in, sorry, here, other, and the dimensions layer. So this center line, okay. However, remember that this distance is 2, okay. So it has to be 1.5, and this line will overlap with a visible line. Some people might decide not to draw it, which is fine, but I'm showing you, should you want to draw it, that's what you should do. You can draw the other one, the mirror one, but for now, guys, I'm just going to go on, because these are less important than what I'm going to explain now. Now, for the right side view, so I'm looking at this part from the right side, meaning if we come here, I'm looking from here. And this is what I'm going to see. So I'm standing here, okay, and my eyes are looking at the right side. Let me start by drawing, let's say, the biggest section from the right side, which is this one. Okay, so the dimensions of this thing would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 units. This line is 6 units. And this line would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units. So 10 units as such, and 6 as such, and this here would be 6 plus 2, which is 8. So 8 units here. I knew it by extending 2 more from here, which is 6 plus 2. So 6, 10, 8. Then you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 8, and then 6. Okay, let's do that. So coming here, so I'm going to draw a line. Say I'm going to start at the end point here, and I'm going to go 8 units for the horizontal line. then 6 units straight up. Okay, escape. So I've drawn 8 and 6, which are this line and this line that's overlapping this line. Let me just, to make them clear and visible, I'm going to select them and go put them in visible entities. So here they are. Now I need to draw a line from here till here, which is the 10 units that I've counted, but already it is 10 because I have projected it from here. This line, of course, it's in the visible entities. And now I have a line here that's 6 units and horizontal. So 6 units, which is this one. And that line, let me put it in visible entities. Okay, now I still need to draw this line, which is how much? It's 1, 2, 3 units downwards, vertically down. So let's go vertically down 3 units, 3 millimeters here. And that's this line. Let me move this to the other side, the dimension. Okay, and okay, so I've drawn this line, it's here. Now I'll put it in the visible entities. And now this is how I can get this inclined line. Finally, I close it. So let me just show you. First putting this in visible entities, in the visible entities. Now I draw a line from this endpoint to this endpoint. And this line also visible line. Okay. So this is that's this shape. You may put these dimensions in the layer, in the hidden layer of dimensions. You can use them later, you can do whatever you wish. So this is this shape. Let's draw the circular shape. Here, the center of the circle. So here, the diameter, as we said, would be 1, 2, 3 units. So a circle of diameter 3. So let me select here circle. I'm just going to draw it anywhere here. Here he's asking for the diameter 3. Okay, let's put it in the visible here. Visible entities. Move this upwards. Okay, now for the position of the circle, I'm just going to dimension it. Smart dimension. Click on the circle, click on the upper line. And you get this dimension, which is 1, 2, 3. 3 units, as we said before. 3 millimeters. Again, I'm going to dimension from the center to the vertical line. And this one is going to be 1, 2, 2.5. You can see it from here. 1, 2.5. Oh, it is very close, but it's okay. 2.5 to be exact. So this is the location of it. These, Control A, put them in dimensions for now. I don't need them. Okay, for now I don't need them. Should I need to change later? They have to be there. We cannot delete them at all. Now, so I have drawn this thing. Okay, now I still have to draw this face here, these sections of this part. So I have drawn this line already, okay, and I have the location of this point. Now, what about drawing, let's say, this surface here? This surface would be so I have this point here, okay, which is here. How much should I move horizontally like this till I reach the location of this point? And the answer is, you can know it from here if you count these squares here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 units you have to move this way. And you would reach this position. Or actually, you can draw this line, this one, which is going to be 6 units. So let's do that actually. So I'm going to draw a line here, from here, which is 6 units. Okay, escape for now. Here it is. Okay, you cannot see it well because if I select it and put it in visible entities, here's what it is. So now I have reached this location. Now I need to continue 2 units horizontally. So line again, 2 units, escape. Let me move these downwards. So this is my new line here. Just let me make it visible. Okay. So here it is. So this is a straight line made of a section that's 6, then 2. Now if you go upwards by how much? 2 units also. So coming here, L. From here, you go vertically up 2 units. Okay. Let me move this aside. This is the line. If you want to put it in the visible. So here it is. So now I have this point and I have this point, which is, here, this point. So all I need to do, so looking from the right side, I would see this line and this line as if they are one line, because this line is going to be projected to the right side. And that line, which is this plus this, would be a line simply from here till here. Okay, put it in the visible layer, and here it is. Now, this line, I already have it. It is drawn here. And I still have to draw this line. This line is 2 units from here, where we have the endpoint of the 6, the line that has length of 6. So I'm going to come here, L. It's here, actually. At this, where is that? Okay, wait 1 second here. So where's the 6th dimension? It's here. Okay, so it's here. Yeah. So L, from here, you go upwards until you meet this line, but it has to be vertical. So vertically up until it touches this line. And this is also a visible line. It's not hidden, of course. Okay, now let's put the dimensions away. Control A, other dimensions. And that's it. This is how it looks like from the right side. Now here you need to place 2 center lines. Let me do it actually. Line L from here till here. Also another line from the quadrant point to the quadrant point here. You need to scale these 2 lines, so I'm going to select them and come here to move entities to the arrow that's pointing downwards, and go to scale entities and scale about the center point. Click on it. 1.75 is not bad, and that's it. So these are the 2 center lines. We keep them as hairline. By the way, here I'm noticing that the green color is not really looking amazing. Okay, fine. Right click, change layer, layer properties. Let's go to center lines and change the color to red. Fine. Okay. So the center lines that we've drawn, they become red. This one, that's overlapping here. Okay, so this is the center line here. Now, do I have any hidden hidden entities in the right side view? And the answer is, of course I have. If I'm looking from here, what are the things or the edges that are being obscured? They exist, but I cannot see them. Let's look again from using this model here. So what about this line and its mirror, which is this line, and these 2 lines, I mean this, control this, these 2 lines, okay, they are there. There are edges there, but these edges are obscured by material that's in front of me. That's why I cannot see them. So it's the line that starts from this point and the mirror line which starts at this point. So at this, how much would be the distance from, let's say, okay, from if I want to draw it, it's a straight line that goes from this line, from this horizontal line to this horizontal line. And what would be the distance? What would be the horizontal distance from this line to this line? Meaning, where is the position of this line? So let's try to find that out. From here, the distance from this line, which is this line here, to the hidden line is shown here. It's 1.5 units. Okay, 1.5 units would give you that distance here. Okay, good. So let's draw that. Coming to SolidWorks. So here I have a line, well, that's attached to this line here. Oh, I'll tell you what. Let's delete these two. Oh, they have associated elements. Okay, so there's this line which is attached to it, the horizontal line here. I'll tell you what, I can delete it and redraw the line again. Okay, so here I have a line that's attached to this line, and it goes down all the way vertically down till this position. Now the distance from here to here, let's dimension it. Click here, click on the other line, and it is, as I said, 1.5 units. 1.5 units. And here you go. Now this line is hidden, so I click on it and I put it in the layer Hidden Entities, and here it is. This one, let's put it in the dimensions layer. Okay, fine. So that's it. Now, do I have anything else, that an edge that is obscured by material? Yes, there's this edge and its sibling here. Okay, is let me show them to you here. So we're speaking about this edge, sorry, this edge and this edge, both of them actually. Okay, so if I look from here, they exist. There is a cut there that's been obscured by material. So we need to draw it as a horizontal line of length 1.5. You can see it here. And what's the distance from the from this horizontal line to the position of this hidden line? It is, I can see it here, 1 unit. Okay, so as we said, it is a line that goes actually from this line to this line, because it ends here at the same level as the hidden edge here, the vertical hidden edge. So line is attached to this line, it goes all the way to this line, it is attached also to this line and to this line. So that would give it its length, which is 1.5. Now the position of it, let's dimension that, which is from here till here. No, sorry, what did I press? So from the line to this line, that would be 1 unit. Okay, and that's it. This is the position of that line. Okay, so yeah, and it has to be in the hidden layers. Hidden entities. Okay, so this is the right side view. Now, no more hidden entities, of course. Now I want to go back to, if you remember, I said I'm gonna omit in the front view, I'm gonna omit drawing these bands here till I draw the right side view. Why? Because I need to know where they are positioned, which is what I've just done now. The position of this line here and this line, I can see them from the right side view as by the way, I have something terribly wrong here, which is there's something wrong here. Let me try to figure it out. Here I do not have two oblique lines like this with two different slopes. And why did I get that? It's okay to fall into problems and to solve them. That's totally fine. Okay, so here I have drawn this. Is it 3 units? This one, is it 3 units? 3 units. Okay. So this point here should be attached to this point here. So when I drew this line, I made a mistake. Actually, it should be like this, from here till here. So this line, I shouldn't have attached it here, which was my mistake. So here, this is the correct line. Guys, look, we have to fall into mistakes, but we have to, most importantly, we have to know how to correct them. Okay, so it's okay. Even I fall into mistakes, like right now. The most important thing is that we have to know how to correct them. And you are going to fall into mistakes when you draw. So this will happen. So this is a good demonstration or exercise of how we get into mistakes and get out of them. So this line here is obviously wrong. This is the inclined line, which goes from here and here and here. So these 3 lines, which are projected into one line when I look from the right side view, and that line is this line. Now this line has to be extended all the way up. Okay, that's okay. I'll draw another line. And this one also has to be extended till the intersection. Now, first of all, let's make this line in the visible entities just to feel good about it again. Now here, remember, we had here, we go up, vertically up until we touch this line. And again, from here, we go vertically up till we touch this line. So these 2 lines are visible lines. Okay, and this is the correct shape of it. The mistake that I've done is that I've drawn this inclined line to be another wrong line. So that's how it should be. Okay, now coming back to the bends that appear here on the front side view. This, and this. So this line, let's say, from the front side is going to appear of a length of 2. However, its position is unknown in the front. And you can know that from simply projecting this point here, which is actually this point here, or you can say it's this point here, it's the same, but seen in the right side view. And this point, how do I take it or project it to the front? Simply I draw a horizontal line like this. Okay, you can say that this line is for construction entities. Okay, and what about the other line, which is this one? It's going to appear having a length of 2 also. However, its position is unknown from the front unless you go to the right side and you also project it from this point here, which is this point here, or this point here. So going to here, line from this point, It has to be horizontal, of course. Okay, and it has to, both of them have to be construction. Okay, you can also select them both and click here for construction so that SolidWorks knows that these two lines are only for construction, and not when I place them in the layer that I named construction, they didn't become two lines that are for construction. They were still physical lines inside of SolidWorks. Okay, I'm designating them as construction to be placed in the construction entities layers, but they do not become for construction, meaning that these are still real corners, real edges that can be later extruded or made into three-dimensional shapes. Okay, well, if I draw them, of course, in the sketcher, which was what we're going to see later. In any case, now I've made them for construction, so they don't need dimensions. Okay, they don't need, although you can dimension them. Now, the most important thing here that I've done is that I have located the position of this line and this line in the front view. And they are two lines that start here and extend 2 units from this position. So if I draw a line here that starts here at the intersection, okay, 2 units, then I would have drawn this line here. Yeah, okay. Or you can start by drawing, alternatively, you can start by drawing this line, which is a line, which is an offset line from here. So let's do that just to make things a bit different. I'm going to offset this line. I am going to select it, press on offset entities, by a distance of 2, actually. Okay, 2 units. So I'm going to put here 2. Okay, and let me see. It has offsetted it to this direction. I'm going to put here reverse. Okay, reverse it to take it to the other side. Of course, we still need to trim it from here and here to represent this line. Let's not put a dimension, so I'm going to delete this. I'm going to say okay. So now I have this line here. Let me make it, by the way, just so that I'm more comfortable with it. I'm going to put it in the visible entities. It needs to be trimmed. I'm going to go to trim entities, trim from here, trim from here. Okay, now this line here is actually this line. Let me draw it here. It is this line. And its correct position on the front view, and its correct size, not the real size, the correct size that it appears in the front, which is a distorted size. The size of this line is shorter than what the real line is. It's the projection to the front. Now here I can do the same thing. So let me offset this line, reverse to take it to this side at a distance of 2 units. Oh no, sorry, this line. So I select this line, I go offset 2, reverse it to come to this side because it was to the left, and that's it. Now again I can escape, place it in it's visible, of course, and I need to trim it from here and from here. So these 2 lines, I have drawn this now. And now for these lines, you just simply go horizontally till you meet this end line here. So line L, or of course they're going to overlap with the 2 construction lines, as I told you that I made from here. So line from here till here, line, escape, line from here till here, yeah, line from here till here, and yet a fourth line from here till here. At this stage, you can delete the construction lines. I don't need them. Here, you can select this line, control and hold it on the keyboard, select this line, select this line, select this line, make them all visible lines, and that's it, basically. So these are the bends that you see here. Okay, they are distorted. This dimension is distorted here. It's shorter than the real one. The width is not distorted. Now, one more thing in the front view. As I told you earlier, I want you to focus on this edge. Looking from the front, it starts as visible, 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 visible till here. When you reach the height of this point here, then it goes to invisible or hidden here at the last section, meaning it becomes dashed here. So that would be where, that would be, the visible line here would be here. You would see this and also this at the same time. They are overlapping, okay, until this point, until you reach this height here. So this line will be visible, okay. However, under it, meaning when you reach this point here, so this is the visible, visible, visible until you reach this point, and you go downwards from this point, which is here, it becomes invisible. So here you have a hidden line, actually, that's all I wanted to say, from here vertically down, and another line from here vertically down, and these two, this, control and hold it on the keyboard, and this, and they are hidden entities, these two, okay. So basically that's it. That would be the front side view. Now I'm gonna draw the auxiliary view, and I'm gonna leave the top side view for you to work on by yourselves, okay. The top side, which is going to be somewhere here. By the way, the paper size here turned out to be very small. What we can do at the end, very big, the paper size is very big, we can scale it up. It means I would select everything and let's say scale the drawing, I don't know, 5 times. And then I would have here, let me show you where, here, a scale of 5:1. So don't worry about this now. We're going to learn how to do it in class. All of this is going to be zoomed, okay, and it's going to fill up the whole space of the paper. No problem about that. Now let me just focus on the concepts, and now I want to draw the auxiliary view. So where do we place the auxiliary view? The auxiliary view actually comes in here, in this location. And how do we draw the auxiliary view? Whenever you have an inclined surface in a certain part, that surface would not align or would not be parallel, neither to the front, nor to the right, nor to the top. As you can see, this plane, the plane here, is not parallel to any of the front, top, or right sides, okay? Like this, for example. This plane here is parallel to the top plane, and this plane here is parallel to the right plane, and this is parallel to the front plane, whereas this one here is not parallel to any of these principal viewing directions. Now, since it's inclined, what you're going to see when you draw the orthographic views, the front, the side, and the top, in one of them, you're going to notice that you're going to have an inclined line, a line that's not parallel or neither perpendicular to the front or to the top, nor to the right side. And this line obviously is this one. This is the inclined line. Now, that inclined line, you're going to have the auxiliary view drawn somewhere here. Okay? In order to do that, this is what we do. First of all, you need to draw the borders of the auxiliary view. So I'm going to take a line, and I'm going to make it perpendicular from this point here. And it has to be perpendicular to the inclined line. So I'm going to go up like this, say this much. Now, is this line perpendicular? I've drawn it close to be perpendicular. However, for sure it's not perpendicular. To make it perpendicular, I need to add a relation between these two lines. I click on this line, control on the keyboard, and I hold it, and I click on the other line. Here, you can see the existing relations. I want them to be perpendicular. Once you see perpendicular here, they are 100% perpendicular to one another. Now I need to draw the other line that's going to define the border of my auxiliary view, which is from this point. So I click on this point and I go up. As you can see here, it's not perpendicular. It has to be, of course, parallel to this line. And I'm going to add a relation between this line and this line. So click on this line, control and hold it on the keyboard, click on the second line. And I want to say, I clicked on a point, as you can see. So here, point and line. What I can do is right click here, delete this selection, and I'm going to click on this line this time. Sorry. Click on this line, control on the keyboard, hold it, click on this line, but not on the midpoint. These two lines, I want them to be perpendicular. Click on perpendicular. So here it is. So this area here would define the border of the auxiliary view. Now, in the auxiliary view, you have to imagine that you are here, okay, and your eyes, and you're looking perpendicular to this inclined surface. And you're gonna simply, you're gonna see is that you're gonna see that surface and its correct position and its correct dimensions. Okay. So you're going to see an eye shape. That's it. Yeah, an eye shape with the true dimensions that you are given. So here, let's start to draw that eye shape here. So here you're going to have an eye shape which represents this. Okay. What are the dimensions of this eye shape? First, let's start with this line. This line would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units. 10 units straight line like this, and 10 units a straight line like this. So, and they're going to be situated here. Now, I'm going to draw a line. Let's say I'm going to start from the end point here. That's going to be, I want it to be 10 units like this. So I'm going to draw this line. Then I'm going to dimension that line. So from this point to this point, and the inclined length like this has to be 10. Okay, now this line that I've just drawn has to be visible entities. Okay, and here it is. Okay, good. There has to be another line here, but it has to go, look, I'm going to draw from here a line that's perpendicular to this line. So first of all, I'm going to go like this, and you see the perpendicular here in yellow near the mouse cursor. It says perpendicular and coincident, meaning it's this line has already this line, control on the keyboard on this line, or they are already perpendicular. Look at the green relation here, and they are coincident, meaning they touch one another. So that's what I want. So this line here would be this, but it's not going to be complete. Yeah, it's going to have that. It's going to be trimmed in the middle to have this here, the hole. Okay, time. So, but drawing this line has given me access to this point. So now I can draw a line that's similar to this one. I can mirror it, by the way. I can copy it. I can do, let's copy it. Okay, let's copy it. just to show you new procedures and or new commands in SolidWorks. So I'm going to select this line. I'm going to go to Move Entities. I'm going to click on the arrow that's pointing downwards. I'm going to say Copy Entities. So here, from to start point, I'm going to click on this point. To where I want to copy it to here, I'm going to click on this point. And here it is. Now, okay, let's say I want, okay, so I've drawn this line and this line. Now let's say I want to draw this line here. So let me show you. So if I want to draw this line, how would I do that? This line starts at this point and starts at this point. If you project them from the right, meaning this point and this point, or this point and this point, yeah? So if you project them from the right to the auxiliary, how would you project them? You can project them by drawing parallel lines like this and like this line, but starting from here, meaning, let me show you. I'm going to click here to select the line, the construction line that I've done. So here I'm going to click for construction, and this line also for construction. Okay, I'm going to copy that line. So I'm going to click on this line, come here, Move Entities, the arrow that's pointing downwards, Copy Entities. From this point, so from to start point is this point, click on this point, and come to click again on this point. Again, click on the line, Copy Entities from this point to this point. So these are the projection lines that takes you from the right side view to the auxiliary view. So meaning this line here and this line here are along these two lines that I've just drawn now. Okay. So actually, let's you know what? Let's draw them. Or first, let's draw these lines. This and this and this and this. Now it's so easy to draw them. Let's start with the first one. This point is this point. Whereas this point is when you draw a line and you go perpendicular to here. Like this. Or parallel to this if you wish. Okay, so let's do that. Line here in SolidWorks, line. Actually, in order to draw also this one, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a complete line. I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to go all the way till here. Yeah? And this would define a line like this. I'm going to trim it, of course, but this is what I'm doing now to make it simpler. So coming here, let me just first of all select the line and make it visible. And go to trim and trim it from here. Simply. Okay, now when I trimmed it from here, it took out the other one. So let me, on this one. This one now has to be invisible and the visible entities. Okay, so these are these two lines. Okay, no, I undid the trim. Let me do it again. So this one is in the visible entities, and that's it. So here I wanted to undo here. I have drawn this after I trimmed and this. Okay, good. Let's draw the other two, which are this and this, same way, which are here. Let's trim. Let's take this line, control on the keyboard and hold it and click on this line, all I need to do is take them to the visible entities layer. And by doing this, I have drawn the red one marked, the red lines marked here. Now, I still have to draw this, 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 and this. Or alternate, okay, let's draw them, let's draw them. Okay, how do I draw them? These lines are going to appear like this, along the red line here, along the construction line here, and having a length of what? Of 2 units. This distance of 2 is not distorted when I look from the front. It remains 2. The distorted distances are along this direction, not along this direction. Along this direction, all the lines remain what they really are. They are not projected, actually. Okay, so let's do that. So 2 units like this. So line, from here, you have to go 2 units on this line. I'm going to click here for 5 units. No, look, let me undo. I did 2 things in any case. Let me do them again. Click Control Visible. Okay, so as I was saying, we need to move 2 units along this line. So line, along this line, I can see the yellow indicator here showing that it is coincident with this line, and I'm going to enter a distance of 2. Okay, and here it is. Let me move this aside. The line is here. It has to be moved to the visible entities layer. This one has to be moved to the dimensions. Now, I'm going to do the same for all of them. I can copy, by the way, this line. Let me show you how to do it. So, click on the line, copy it. Let's say from this point to this point. Okay, and I can copy both of these by selecting them like this, Control on the keyboard, and selecting this one like this. And I'm going to say copy these entities from this point, say, to this point. And here you go. Now you have this, and this. 4 red lines here. Okay, and now simply we just need to draw this by connecting the endpoints and this. So we come here, line, from this view, from this point to this point, and from this point to this point. Now this line, Control on the keyboard and hold it, and this line are visible. And this is our auxiliary view. Why is it important? Because this is the only place where you're going to see the eye-shaped inclined surface in its true shape and its true dimensions. Meaning, what do I mean? Will it appear somewhere else, this eye shape? Yes, it will appear, but it's going to appear distorted. This is not distorted. That's it. It's the real shape. It's the real size. Whereas the eye shape that I see here in the front, which is, by the way, it starts here. Okay, so if I start here, it's here and here. And it goes like this here, this area, plus this and this, these 2 small areas here and here. So this is the eye shape here. And if you see that eye shape in the front, it is distorted. It is shorter. This dimension from this line to this line is shorter than the actual dimension, which is the distance from this line to this line. In the front, the eye shape appears, but it is distorted. It's shorter. How does it appear from the top? Exactly like it appears from the front. If this is a 45-degree bend, is it an incline? In any case, it's going to look shorter in the top, wherever the angle is. whatever the inclination angle is, it's going to appear distorted in the top and in the front because it is projected to those planes. Whereas here, the auxiliary viewing plane, which as I told you is where we are here, these are our eyes, and we are looking perpendicular to this surface. So this eye shape is perpendicular to my viewing plane, and thus it doesn't lose any correct dimensions when projected to that plane. Now, for these lines here, the construction lines, you can keep them. However, in general, we only keep, let me show you which lines do we keep. In general, we keep these two lines, this and this. Okay, so let me make this line the same as this line. So I'm going to copy this line from here to here, okay, to make them similar. That's it. So this is the auxiliary view, the right side view, and the front view. Now, as an exercise at home, I want you to draw the top side view, which we didn't draw it, in which this eye shape is going to appear distorted and projected, as I told you, and you're going to place it here, the top side view. So this is your exercise after this video.